Boop, we're on. Oh boy, we're doing it. We're here, guys. Let me adjust my screen so I can see a stream chat. Let me share the stream like I'm supposed to, and I always forget to do. Copy the video link. Paste it over here. Alright, that was 17 minutes of psyching myself up to do this. That's okay. We're here. We have some goals. Well, we have one big goal, is really what it says. The biggest thing I can think of, though, honestly, is can we finish this side of the river today? Maybe between, like, here and back here, which includes all the little bits around Doe Cliff. Is that possible? Can we do that? Yeah, maybe. The better question is, do I want to do that? Do I feel like doing that? Because I really kind of don't. I'd rather do little things today, I think. Which means I'm going to go up and down the main lines and just fill in little spots, because we did the big thing last time. We need to fill in that. But I need to go up the main line. What's up? You got this. Yeah. I need to go up the main line. I need to do this place. I need to build a little farmhouse here. That'll be our first thing. In fact, let me see if I can find, like, a farmhouse. Because that's not it. Ackland? Actually, I like this. We're in the right layer. Route layer. We'll put this here. This is the in-law suite. Everyone needs a good in-law suite. And then, let's see. How about a couple of silos? That's not it. I need, like, an old-style silo. Like a really old... An old grain silo. What is this? Oh, this is for doing sick tricks on a skateboard. Gotcha. Well, this is cool. That's useful somewhere. But not what we're doing. Obviously don't need a skyscraper. Get lots of different piles of sleepers. That's cool. Small boat, small building. Hold on. Let's open up the search filter. Silo. Yeah, I kind of figured that was going to be too much. Silos, plural. I need one silo. Just one. Building silo. No. Building farm silo. And this is a pretty large area. This is the largest area. But the thing is, this doesn't have any... It doesn't have any, like, growing areas. This doesn't have, like, any farm areas. Which, I mean, I can hand wave that away and not worry about it. But that's the only thing that strikes me. Hey, Shoreline. The thing with all this is I'm winging it, you know? I don't know what too many farms look like. So I'm just sort of going with what feels okay. This is one of those things where, yeah, I should probably be looking up stuff ahead of time and figuring out what these things are supposed to look like. And I think before I do the next segment, I will. Because that's going to be a lot of farms. And yeah, it's easy to just throw down, like, patterns of grain. But maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe I want to actually have some rhyme and reason to what I'm doing. And that's important when you're route building, honestly. I feel like it's undersold. People don't necessarily put too much stock in the idea of spending a bunch of time on Google and researching what you want. Hay barn. Yeah, like a proper barn. I don't have a lot of barns. That's the issue. And I could probably find some more. But yeah, how about this? This is nondescript enough. It's just called barn. Just put it over here. It's not really a hay barn, is it? It's just a barn. Well, we've got high detail barns. Ooh. Farm barn. Well, that's cool. Except, it's missing some walls. Hey, Pat. All right, whatever. I'm moving back onto fence. I'm putting some fence around this. All right, wood fence. Just go with this. You know, that's a good point that I hadn't considered. Any barn can be a hay barn if you put hay in it. That's a real, like, this is what people come here for. These are the deep philosophical conclusions that we're trying to reach here. I'm doing okay. I feel like I'm still tired from yesterday, though. Yesterday, yeah, actually, nobody knows about my yesterday. I didn't do anything yesterday. Well, I played RO for a while last night, and everyone, it sort of felt like a recording session even though it wasn't. And everyone that was there got the spiel of, oh, I've been up since 6 in the morning. Pat, go to Gulag. And I am dirt tired right now. Like how am I alive? You know? Which 6 a.m. is not that early of a time to get up, really. But I'm not used to it, and I had to drive to Maine, and yeah, it was a rough day for staying awake. I spent a lot of time just sitting in the caboose of Jader's train, just like pretending to be awake, uh, pretending to make myself useful. I was not very useful. This is the right gate. Like, the posts are almost the same. So let's grab this then. What's all this then? Okay. And now we need a truck. I need some sort of truck. Where's the 1950s cars? Well, okay. That also sucks. I'm not saying that it isn't. I'm just saying, like, I'm not used to getting up and then driving 3 hours immediately and then driving, and then doing my 8-hour workday and then driving home 3 hours. That wasn't fun. I didn't enjoy that. I mean, I liked the part where I got to drive to Maine and back, but it was a time. The wagon and I came to an understanding about, like, that we were going to do that. All right, I can mark that thing off the to-do list. Oh, I don't even have the to-do list open. Give me 1 second. Okay, so this is back in my documents. It's down in the trains folder. It's over here in under construction notes. That's why I can never find it. It's not called to-do list. Which one is this one that I just did? It's bugging out. This is Old North. So I can cross that off the list. Let's throw up some telephone line here. Well, I didn't exactly hang out with 2-foot. I was very close to 2-foot. I just didn't go and visit it. I don't even know if there's any, I don't know if there's any, if there are any steam engines at Maine Narrow Gauge right now. There may be. If there are, I'm not aware of them, though. Oh, that's really tall. Why is that so tall? Yeah, I'm not dealing with that. Let's see. Is it? Ah, there we go. IRM trolley poles. I think some of this... No, that's the big stuff. Where's my, telegraph wire? Oh, okay, here we go. Oh, it's the Laurel line. Sorry, not the other thing. Holy Moses! No, 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 no. That's not what I wanted. We don't need 10,000 wires. We need like 8. Yeah, that's good. But that's not really accurate. Those aren't power poles. We need to find something that's good. Is 3 not... I don't actually know. What was the documentary you saw, Mopac? I actually don't know if that's good. Even if it's JR, it'll do. I don't know its whereabouts right this second. I didn't feel like going over there. I mean, I love the 2-foot, but I was on a mission to get myself home. So, here, do this, I guess. I'll just overlap the poles. And it can just merge with that. Oh, crap. That doesn't look right. Yeah, I don't actually know. I don't know where they are. I just know that they're around. So, not exactly the person to ask. I'm not the expert. I love 2-foot as much as the next guy, but I'm not the experts on the whereabouts of all the engines right now. At least right now I'm not. You know, there are days when I can tell you everything under the sun, but I'm so out of the loop. I haven't been up there in a hot minute. Okay. I'll just leave that like that, I guess. Hell yeah. Tell me when you're coming. I'll meet you if you want. I needed to take Shelby to see 2-foot because she didn't know what that was. So, and obviously I'll be with TJ and Gloria and maybe the dog. Maybe we'll bring the dog. Maybe we'll bring Lafayette. My mom came over earlier and dropped me off a couple of shirts, and they're Lafayette shirts, and it's so cute. So great. Not like of him, just like of the guy. And, you know, they're like Hamilton merch, basically. But I can't say no to that. You gotta love it. Okay. That wasn't to say no to this joke, but it could have been. Yes. Excellent. 2-foot hang around. It's important. It's good. Right, so I'm gonna run telephone wire spline this way. Alright. That's good. This building is awkward. This guy in the corner. There we go. I want to slide this like that. And then I want to add a spline here to there. To here. I'll just run it up this street. Yes. Lafayette does need a Lafayette sweater, or like a Hamilton sweater. Hamilton dog sweater. I'd be okay with that. He got a, oh, I haven't debuted it yet on Snapchat. He got a pineapple sweater, and it's gonna make pineapple pup delivery service so much better. So, get ready for that one of these days when I decide to put him in the sweater, which he does not really like. So I try not to torture him with it too often, but you know, he's so darn cute. I can't not for long anyway. Okay, so that's good. Need to, oh, I gave up on stringing wire this way, huh? Oh, you forget how ubiquitous these things are, you know? They should probably be a little further off the side of the road, but roadway standards aren't what they used to be. Or, well, other way around. They are much more than what they used to be. I'll say that goes up there, and we need to run a line down this street. It's the little things, you know? I could go even further. One of the things that I'm definitely missing is, like, fire hydrants. Now, I'm going to assume 99% of the people that will ever watch this video have never been to Block Island. But the way these roads are set up, it very much reminds me of that. You never know when a road you're driving down is going to turn from asphalt into gravel out there. It's a very cute place. It's one of those things that is absolutely going to be underwater in like 10 years. So visit while you can. Um, but yeah, it's a wonderful little place. It's my favorite island in Rhode Island. No, we're not an island. We just have a bunch of them. Also, the full name of the state up until last year or so was not just Rhode Island. It was the state of Rhode Island and Providence Plantations, which made it, for the trivia geeks, the longest name of a state. Like the longest state name. Now it's not the longest. There are some longer ones. I can't remember. I think New Hampshire is up there. Uh, but the reason we cut the name down to just Rhode Island is because of the affiliation of the word plantation with slavery. Now, that I was against it for completely pointless reasons. In fact, the same reasons I'm against Washington, D.C. ever becoming a state. Not because I have any political motive there, but because if Washington, D.C. becomes a state, then Rhode Island is no longer the smallest state, which I cannot have. That's like the only thing we've got. We had three things. We had longest name, which we don't have anymore. We have shortest state, which we still have, and we had far and away the most corrupt, and that ended when Buddy Cianci went to jail the second time. So, you know, we're losing all the things that make us special, and that's upsetting to me. I can't advocate for things that take away what makes Rhode Island special. But I was against it for that reason, and also because um, it doesn't, it no longer tells the whole story of the city-state of Providence. Yeah, it no longer tells the whole story of how Rhode Island came to be, which is that we were two colonial charters, one for Rhode Island, which is the Aquidneck Island, where Newport is, and one for Providence, which is, you know, where our founder Roger Williams ended up. Um, the the whole thing is Roger Williams, as far as like, okay, everyone knows that, you know, blah blah blah, colonizers bad. You know, that's the short version of it. You don't really need to dig any deeper than that. Uh, maybe these days. Maybe these days, Mopac. But I wish I had my Rares of Rhode Island book. I could read out a passage from there about the corruption in the state, which uh, it's pretty substantial. Uh, we had like three very important state governing individuals, not necessarily governors. I think it was two mayors and a senator or something. Two mayors and a maybe it wasn't a senator. Either way, it was somebody that all three of them were in jail at the same time. But anyway, all right, so that's gone. Let's take that off the list. Telephone poles thing. Um, I need to go down. Oh, I need to do the other dairy. That's right. Uh, so yeah, the state was two, and now it is one. And oh, that's like the silo I was looking for. Um, and because of that like interesting political history, we had a very long name. And if you remove Providence Plantations, now you're just living in Rhode Island, and now it's another, it's almost like another chapter to teach, you know? It's you got to say that, okay, yes, it's called this, and you can't really say up front why it's called that, because, oh, it's Rhode Island, it's named after Newport, doesn't give you the whole story. And it also leaves out, like I said, one of the most important parts, which is about the actual founder of the state. Uh, but the reason that it's so silly that it was done isn't, is for less stupid reasons, if I may. Uh, or no, what did I just say? I said less stupid. Should I have said more stupid? I don't know. I don't mean to be insulting, but the association with the term plantations and slavery, yeah, I get it. But you're taking away Providence Plantations out of the name. That's Providence Colony that you're taking out of the name. That's Roger Williams' colony that you're taking out of the name. And Roger Williams was, while he may not have been an abolitionist per se, he was on the spectrum of European colonizers a pretty good guy. The story of Thanksgiving, etc. While it may be embellished, isn't necessarily fully untrue. And Roger Williams himself got along extraordinarily well with the different tribes in this area, particularly, I believe, the Narragansetts. It's either the Narragansetts or the Wampanoags. Uh, but it's the he was incredibly friendly with the chief. I'm just filling in stuff. To the point where I don't remember exactly which tribe it was, but the chief of the tribe said, you know, upon Roger Williams' passing, that he felt like he had lost a brother or some such thing. It was uh, like saying Joseph Tito was the best communist dictator. Okay, I mean, yes and no. I don't really have anything to say about Tito, but again, on the whole, a pretty good guy. Uh, Pretty good guy, had good relationships the with the American Indians, with the Native Americans, and was not like fully abolitionist, but believed that slavery should not be passed from, it should not be passed down. Like it shouldn't go from, a slave's kids should be free automatically, not the other way around. And also, there should be basically limited terms, uh, so that a slave would eventually become a free man. It would not work their whole lives as, you know, servants. Again, not exactly great by today's standards, but by the standards of the time, that was pretty forward thinking of him. Um, the other thing is, okay, right, I need to fill in holes using the grid fill tool. I Was there not something that I missed along here somewhere? I think it might have been on the other line there. Um, I think we're all done with the dairies anyway. These areas where, oh, excuse me, where stuff is already done, the point is to, I'll give an example up here where I know there's a hole. Over, let's say here, yeah. Although this doesn't work because this area is covered with the blue, which is unintentional. Yeah, let me patch that up anyway. I just don't want there to be this blue. I don't want there to be any grid left. Whatever it is, it's not a big deal if it looks a little funny, but because this is way off the beaten track. But I don't want there to be any grid for sure. So I'm going to do this. Just update grid PBR again. Oh, really? It doesn't just fill it in now? Ah, there we go. So see, I'm just gonna go along and fill in if I see any grid or anything. Or, let me grab this also. Okay, there we go. Luckily, I don't have to do it in 2 passes. Behind California. Oh, interesting. But, ooh, did I miss it? Over here. There we go. Okay. So that's better. That's an improvement. I say. It's not going to be perfect, and I don't necessarily want to run through everything and fill it in. Because that's a lot of work. And it's not something where you can necessarily see if you've gone wrong. I think if we just notice something, we'll use the grid fill. Yeah. Anyway. That's my little spiel. So, yeah, the yin to that yang is that Newport, the other colony, participated heavily in the slave trade. It made bank off of it. So, are you okay, Matt? So, you're taking Providence Plantations out of the name because you don't want association with slavery, but that aspect of the name is the aspect that is least associated with slavery out of the two. Anyway, I know that matters very little. The historical context matters very little when you're talking about a name in the modern era. It's not, you can't necessarily just, you can't put an asterisk on the name and lead it to the Wikipedia page for Roger Williams. It doesn't work like that. The name is going to be the name, and people are going to think what they think of it when they see it. And you can educate people on the historical context, but at the end of the day, it's easier just to not have that conversation. And it's not like you have to, It's, for all my griping, it's not that important. It's just a name. It's half of a name. We changed it. We voted on that maybe a couple of years ago. I remember having this discussion with a lot of my friends and family, like, hey, Roger Williams was relatively abolitionist, and his colonies, Providence Plantations, it doesn't necessarily mean anything to do with slave trade. It's just, a plantation's a big farm. But because that word is so connotative of the slave trade or slavery in general, it's a nuance that gets lost in, I'm not going to say modern discussion, because there's nothing that's special about modern discussion, really. It just gets lost in simple discussion, without digging apart. It's, oh, Rhode Island has the word plantation in their name. That's interesting, and, you don't necessarily want to have to pick that apart and figure out why. And so, we move on, and we, for the people that care about Rhode Island, or the names of states, we get to see that, oh, Rhode Island used to be called the state of Rhode Island and Providence Plantations. We're not trying to erase that from our history. It's just not the name of the state now. You know, you can still Google it. You know, it's very hard to get rid of anything in the modern era, to hide any information whatsoever. I'm not saying you should count on the Streisand effect to promote a given cause, but oh, software updates are available. That's good because my graphics card drivers crashed the other day, and took down an entire RO server. This was last night. Definitely didn't lose the war. Yeah. But really, I don't know. It's an interesting conversation to have, I think. If you get someone who really wants to dig into it, it's a good and interesting conversation to have. Because it's nice to be able to pick that apart and think about, like, you know, despite the facts of history, people are going to have reactions. I'm not saying that's good, I'm not saying that's bad. I'm saying that sometimes you have to patch things up for the modern era. Things don't mean the same things that they always did, and the context that something, you know, a name even was written in may not hold up as well today. You can't set something in stone and expect it to be ever unchanging, or at least expect that it's going to be as relevant forever. Because even the best minds of generations past were not clairvoyant. And we are not clairvoyant. You know, I can't write something now and, you know, expect it to hold up the same in the future. When the robots do take over, all of the things that I've said about the robots taking over are going to be in a completely different context. You know, it'll be, oh, he was Nostradamus, he predicted the future, and I'm like, no, I'm just memeing, and I hate the little Stop and Shop bot that goes around. Commonwealth. Oh, Massachusetts as well, I believe. Well, I don't know, maybe it's just used as a name sometimes. But, yeah, I mean the state of Massachusetts. But of 41 independent cities in the United States. There are quite a few states, commonwealths. It doesn't. I mean, what does it really matter? Before that, it was a colony, you know. Before the state of Rhode Island and Providence Plantations, it was Providence Colony, and I guess maybe like Narragansett Bay Colony or something was the name. But either way, point is, you know, what's in a name? What matters is what that name represents, and, you know, no matter what we call Rhode Island, it's still going to be Rhode Island. It's still going to be hilariously corrupt, etc. Which, speaking of which, because I was talking about Buddy Cianci a couple of episodes ago. First of all, I went back. Yeah, thank you, Mason. That's why I thought of that. I went back and I rewatched the episode of Well, There's Your Problem on the Station nightclub fire, which, of course, hits incredibly close to home to me, more so than other disasters, because it happened, you know, relatively close to where I grew up. It happened in my home state, and Rhode Island's not that big. So, you know, I could get from here to the Station nightclub memorial in about 20 minutes, barring traffic. My dad worked at the hospital nearby, and he, I believe, treated patients that had come in from the Station nightclub fire. The police officer they mention in that episode, Officer Betancourt, is the father of one of my childhood friends, or at least, you know, acquaintances. We went to school together, and I think it's the same Betancourts, I believe. Anyway, Okay, yeah. Well, that's the other thing. That's the other thing. You're taking out the part that is not the island. The Providence Plantations are the mainland part of the colony, and the Rhode Island is the Aquidneck Island part of the colony. So that's another thing. Now the name's extra misleading. Before, people could say, "Hey, it's not. Your name is Rhode Island, and you're not an island," and you can say, "Well, actually, it's the state of Rhode Island and Providence Plantations because we have island and we have not island." Um, so yeah, now you can't do that. You could say, well, actually, we used to be called, and then people decided that we shouldn't be called that anymore. So yeah, I went and I watched that episode of Well, There's Your Problem again. I cracked up a little bit. They were really ripping Rhode Island. They're not wrong anyway. Uh, but they bring up Buddy, and I found a giant re-elect Buddy Cianci sign, or well, I found. My dad found. It was his sign, in that he took it from where it previously was, which was in 1977 when they were uh, building the porch. My dad went and got this sign from where it was hanging up over down the road a little bit. It was a giant, like a 4x8 sheet of plywood that was painted white and read "Re-elect Buddy Cianci," or no, "Re-elect Vincent Buddy Cianci" for mayor of Providence. And so he goes and he grabs this sign and he brings it home and he cuts it up and he turns it into shelves and flooring. Uh, but then, of course, we're taking the porch apart. He's taking the porch apart, and he finds the sign again, or at least part of it. You can't really read his name, but it's obvious who the sign's for. Uh, and I've just got it propped up against my garage now, at least half of it. If I find the other half, I'm gonna put them together, and I'm gonna put the sign back together, and I'm gonna hang it up somewhere, probably downstairs, but where I've got the wall space. Just because I can, just because it's hilarious to me that there's that, you know, it again. It's not like even it was his sign; it was just a sign that he grabbed, and who would have thunk what a legend that man would become in 1977? Uh, so, oop, that's the wrong thing. I wanted this. And this is another instance where legendary does not necessarily mean good. Maybe I could have gone with infamous as a properly explanatory word there. That looks terrible. Welcome, comrade. Ivan, be good. Okay. What am I gonna do over here? I really want to work this out, and I really want to run a train. I'm so happy with how a lot of this area has come out, particularly this line here, because it worked out, you know? Oh, that's cool. That's a good texture. We'll use this as like a, you know, as an under road thing, because this seems like it is dense enough to be almost a little swampy. Like you wouldn't want to step on this. It looks like it's gonna be kind of boggy. So, which it doesn't really fit this far away from the water, but whatever. I had to go and investigate a culvert yesterday, and I was afraid to step too near it because there was definitely a still flowing brook there that was just a little iced over, and I knew if I made a misstep, I was going straight through that ice, and yeah, I wouldn't have died, I would not have probably even been really injured except hurting my ankle or something. But I would have ended up with shoes and pants that were just soaked with icy water. And I had a lot of my workday to still complete at that point, and I did not want that. Um, because blackface. Nice, classy. Always classy. I mean, I don't have anything to say other than that about that. It's always lovely. It's always fun to see. Alright, we need to get the ballast up to here. I guess we are just going up this side of the river now because I've got nothing else to do. I did the other important things that I had to get done. Um, okay. I need to do some. I need to do some research on stuff to make glass. I believe you use quartz sand uh, for some of it, but I need to know what a quartz sand mine looks like to know that if the thing that I've made is properly that, or if I need to put it somewhere else. But the other thing is, because I like to use quartz sand so much, and I'll probably end up building a big like glass kiln somewhere. Um, I probably don't want to use the quarry that I've made for quartz sand because it makes things a little bit annoying when you're transferring goods around within one quote unquote yard or hub area. Uh, but oh, that's rough. Sorry about that, Mopac. Hope your girlfriend's okay. Uh, Sand and coal in a furnace. Thank you. Thank you. That is true. That is accurate. Thank you very much. Uh, no, I just need to know what that kind of gravel pit looks like. What kind of aesthetic I'm going for. And we circle back to what I was talking about with the farms. I don't know what everything looks like. I feel like, certainly nobody knows what everything looks like. If you are modeling an area that you're innately familiar with, then that's less of a question. But if you aren't, there is so little shame in just doing research, doing proper research, just going through and just looking at pictures of stuff. And you can do that in so many ways, and I'm not just saying, oh, let me just Google pictures of blah blah blah, which is valid. But you can go and find examples and look at them on Google Earth and go into Street View and see stuff like that. Obviously, if you're building a route that's set in era, sort of like this one, you're gonna want to go and find pictures of the era of the thing you're trying to model. So nice. Yeah, see, the fun thing about Buddy Cianci is that both of his big legal battles came while he was in office, uh, and both resulted in him being convicted and also, as a result, getting booted out of office. And the first time that happened, he then tried to run again the next term because he wasn't in jail. I'm pretty sure he just had to pay a fine or something. Uh, or at least he wasn't in jail again by the time the next election came around, so it wasn't a very long sentence. Um, and he he was barred from running the following election because it was the same. The Supreme Court of Rhode Island determined that it was the same as trying to run against yourself, because he was technically also the incumbent in that election because he had been booted out of office and replaced by somebody, and that made him technically he was the incumbent, and the incumbent can't run against the current mayor. You know, because they're the same person. Anyway. Yeah, the Supreme Court of Rhode Island was like, no, you can't get booted out of office and then immediately turn around and run again. Uh, it's not a thing you should be able to do. So they prevented him from doing that, and so somebody else was mayor for a little while, and then he ran again, and then he won again, and he was mayor a second time, and then he got charged with, like, racketeering and running a corrupt criminal enterprise and a whole host of other stuff, and most of the charges didn't stick, but one of them did, and that sent him to jail a second time, and as a result, he got booted out of the mayoral position a second time. And then he became a radio host, and then he tried to run for mayor a third time in 2014 and almost won. Well, I don't know if he almost won, but he was booted out by the current mayor of Providence. Alright, grab some trees, because it's warmer. Okay, let's chop down some trees, because now the trees are very dense. I don't need to worry about moving them. This guy's not... He doesn't. Oh, he doesn't. It would have had a pretty short third mayoral stint, because he died in 2016, which would have been only 2 years. But still. The reason that, you know, he was mayor multiple times, it certainly wasn't for lack of trying, and it was because he was beloved. Yeah, the crony that wouldn't quit or something. I don't know what you would call him. He was pretty well liked. I mean, I would go as far as to say he was beloved. He took Providence from a dumpster fire that nobody wanted to go downtown. There was no reason to go downtown. It was just dangerous. And he turned it into what it is today, which is more or less a city for the arts. I mean, it's still a city. It's still dirty and stuff, but it is like mini Boston. We have a thriving arts culture and stuff like that. It's so much better and, of course, so much safer than it was, say, 40 years ago, before Buddy Cianci came into office, which, yeah, I mean, 45 years ago, he was just coming into office for the first time. He made a spectacular difference. And the people of Providence didn't forget that, and it's like, okay, yeah, we get that yeah, okay, yeah, you may have, like, tortured a guy who you thought was banging your ex-wife, but you did good things for the city, so we'll vote for you again. It's the kind of thing, and I feel like the reason he didn't get elected in 2014 isn't even because, oh, he went to jail for corruption charges, and that's the second time he was booted out of office because of a legal issue. No, that wasn't it. The reason was the city's outgrown him. The city doesn't need a man like him anymore to put us on our feet. We're already on our feet. He's done his thing. It's he, in fairness, Providence was Providence. He was the hero we needed and the hero we deserved. He was not a great guy, but he was a pretty good mayor. We deserved all of that. We needed it. We deserved it. And now we're past that stage. We don't need someone to come in and save the city at all costs. But that's why he was a mayor for a different time. That's my theory anyway. That's just a theory, a Rhode Island theory. Let's go down here. This is such a beautiful little line. I really, if I had if I had not eaten dinner before this, I'd be eating dinner now and watching a train go down this line by itself. If we can finish this, well, it's already 8 o'clock, so that's not happening. But if we can finish this, when we do finish this, maybe I'll run a train down it. No promises, but maybe. Okay. So we go through there, through there. Do we have all of the... Yes, we do. Okay. I need to get the edge here. Boy, this is a ways. This is definitely a ways. A roadie theory. Exactly. Okay. Anyway. Hey, Stellar. Barring anything else, yeah, I would like to get this done. I know we've still got industries to fix and stuff like that, but getting this scenery area done is going to be a pretty hefty, like, what do you call it? A pretty hefty chunk done. A pretty significant milestone. But that doesn't mean it's done. It's not even close to being done. We've got so much more to do. Let's see. I think this area is going to be like a, what did I use for the beach over here? Like this. So... I might do this in this area. Then I might dial it back and do a do like a marshy instead. Well, that doesn't look good at all. Turn the scale all the way up. Open the switches all the way, or we'll wreck the goddamn train. There we go. Realistically, this should be like mossy and muddy. So, you know, this is not really right at all, and I should be, once again, going and doing research on what this is supposed to look like, but now well. Okay. Sorry about that. Time for grass. Nope, not the shrubs. In fact, I think I'm gonna do it like this. Oh no. Well, I guess you're not feeling that Popeye reaction from the spinach there. You're not getting big and strong, you're just getting sick instead. Well, that reminds me of something. Faint of stomach, listen, turn your ears away now. There's a line in one of my favorite movies, Down Periscope, which is, the first officer is yelling at the first mate's yelling at the cook for the disgusting state of the kitchen on a diesel submarine that's been reactivated in like 2009. And he's looking at a can of something, and he says, what are you doing? This has been on the Stingray since Korea. It expired in 1965. And the cook takes like puts his finger in it and then licks it off his finger. And he goes, "What's the problem? It still tastes like cream corn." And the guy replies, "But it's deviled ham." And I don't know why, of all the jokes in that movie, well, there were several jokes that have stuck with me. Gloria can tell you, there are several jokes that have stuck with me. But I don't know why that one in particular always just put me over the edge. Even though it's so disgusting if you think about it. I try not to think about it very much. Also, cream corn is kind of gross, just in general. I don't. I'm not exactly a fan of it. Uh, Hello, dragon. Oh my god. Creamed hams. Yeah, no, it's there's so much to love about that movie. There is so much good about that movie. Uh, it is it's a movie that does not deserve to be as good as it is. And I know I say that about a lot of movies, but it's it's not the kind of movie where you go into it expecting to be enthralled. You expect to be entertained and, laughing every once in a while, but they have a way of making you really care about those characters, even the dumb ones. And care about what happens to the sub and the crew and their naval exercise, their little competition they're involved in. Uh, and it's free on YouTube, so if you haven't seen it, maybe that's something to do after this stream. Maybe someday I'll do a movie night, like a Horseman movie night, where we all watch down Periscope together, because that would be a lot of fun. I know Kodai was doing movie nights, and we had like one good one and then two failed movie nights. Uh, but the thing about events, right, is you got to be willing to just go ahead, even if you only get a couple people. And with a movie night, I feel like you can just watch that movie by yourself. Like, if I'm doing a movie night, if I'm sitting down, I'm like, hey, we're gonna watch this movie at this time, and nobody shows up, I'm probably gonna still watch that movie, because I'm not necessarily. I mean, there are times where I would be putting on a movie for the sake of someone else. Like Shelby has never seen Ghostbusters. I know I've said that before. This is the second time I've mentioned something that Shelby is missing in life. The first is 2 Foot. The second is Ghostbusters. That's two of my favorite things on the planet, and she has not experienced any of them at all. And she's been my friend since high school, so like I should have indoctrinated her by now. Then again, I would call out some other friends that I've had since high school that I haven't done similar things with, but the vast majority of those people I just don't talk to anymore. And like the only one that stands alone is Ian. And Ian, I've dragged him around to so many Iron Horseman things. So, uh, how much would you have to pay to watch Ghostbusters on the 2 Foot? Actually, that's a good question. Hey, TJ. TJ, can you get us an event? Uh, I mean, I wonder what it takes to just rent out the whole railroad and make them do your bidding. If somebody from if a big shot from Hollywood showed up and was like, all right, we're gonna use this railroad, how much would the WWF charge them? Probably less than probably more than they'd charge you or I to watch a movie on it. But Bill Murray and Sandy and Rangeley, exactly. Actually, the crossover that I've always wanted to see is how would the Ghostbusters deal with Beetlejuice? How would they be with each other? He doesn't totally fit their vibe. Imagine if he became like the fifth member. Like they tried to catch him, and he just sort of he does his thing. It's a very different, maybe not very different, but it's a different brand of comedy between Beetlejuice and Ghostbusters. But there could definitely be some laughs there. And again, I haven't seen Beetlejuice in too long. I was about to say, what if there was a way to really like sort of write one universe into the next? That probably isn't possible. Those two movies. It's definitely possible with The Rock though, and I'm not talking about Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I'm talking about the movie The Rock that came out, and when did that come out? It's a Sean Connery movie, and people have claimed that it's secretly a James Bond movie. Like Connery's character in The Rock is just James Bond undercover. And then somebody on Reddit, for I think the 25th anniversary of their releasing of the movie, so that would mean it probably came out in 1995, 1996. somebody went through and did a whole, like, full-on breakdown of the film and the timeline of the Connery Bond movies, and even, you know, the real-life timeline, to prove that it is a Bond movie. And that blew me away. And now, I have not seen very many Sean Connery Bond movies. I've seen, I think, Doctor No. I've seen, actually, yeah, I've seen the beginning handful of Bond movies. Because when I was a kid, my dad started watching them all with me, uh, like, from beginning to end, like, from the oldest to the newest. And we eventually stopped doing that. I think we never got to Diamonds Are Forever, although I might be mistaken. Um, and that's kind of where we stopped. But I might be wrong on that. I'm just vaguely remembering seeing a title sitting on the DVR for a long time. That might have been it. This was so many years ago. I think at this point, this was before, like, Quantum of Solace came out, probably. It's definitely before Skyfall came out. Um, Wait, what? See Aykroyd in a train movie. He's a confirmed rail fan. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, he's a cool guy. Dan Aykroyd is a really cool guy, that's for sure. And I love how much he loves his craft and how much he loves Ghostbusters and stuff. Um, Kill James Bond did a bonus episode on it. Yeah, no, it is it's it's a Bond movie. Uh, so what are we doing? Well, I started off just tidying up and finishing a couple of the dairies that needed to get done, but now I'm really trying to get the trees up to here. And I think that's going to happen because I'm about to start pasting trees. So, hang on. Yeah, the GMO, or sorry, GMNO, uh, was a neat railroad. It's also a really important railroad in Merger Mania, which I would love to do that as a community playdate at some point. Uh, it's a really important railroad in Merger Mania because it's like one of the only north-south ones you can get, if I'm remembering right. Okay. We doing a segment release? No. No, not yet. Not yet. We're getting close. We're definitely getting very close. I would like to have a segment release sooner or later. I don't know how this is relevant, but I do feel like I could maybe get this thing out before, like, Valentine's Day. Uh, I don't know. I'm not going to hold myself to that. I'm not going to even try to make that happen. It's just a thought that I'm having. Yeah. No, this is how we save the Amazon. Copy pasting trees. God, why wouldn't the billionaires just listen to me? Valentine's Day. Yeah, no, I'm just thinking, like, when when on a calendar might I be able to have this finished? And that's the first holiday I could think of. Is it good that that's what I think of first? No idea. But yeah, I've got no flaming clue if I will even come close to that. I just know that I feel like I'm getting close to the end here. Um, yeah, the GMO is neat, and it's in, like, all of our foods. So, I mean, can you really knock it? Okay, all right. I keep just saying little statements like that just because my brain is moving at a million miles an hour trying to figure out, okay, how do I, am I doing this right? Am I filling in? Is the tree density good? Is, like, the 463? See you, Stellar. Tell me what a 463 looks like. Tolbrynd damn well better be my magnum opus, because I don't know how I could top this. I don't think I ever will. And in fact, if I ever... I'm a different man than I was when I started this project, and I think if I ever go to do another project like this, or in trains at all, it's going to be so much smaller in scale. It's not going to have the gravitas that this one does, for sure. Um, and just the lofty ambitions. It's not going to have it. I'm not going to be willing to do that. Oh, there's a missing spot in the middle of it. That's funny. So, yeah, I mean, I I started this at a time when I felt like I had unlimited free time, and not only that, I felt like I would be able to sit down and hammer this thing out. And I did for a time. I worked on under construction. I also just worked on the side. I worked, I had the thing running simulations during, while I was at work and stuff like that. And then I would come back and I would take notes on like where things went wrong, if every car was in the right place, that sort of thing. Uh, and now I'm just not. I'm not doing that. I'm not if I lost everything and I had to start again, I would be probably into building modules that I could then stick together. I'm saying that now, knowing in the back of my head there's no way that would satisfy me. I know that I would want to be building another gigantic route, but I don't know. I don't know, man. Sometimes I feel like I would just, I would make my services for hire. I would go in and just do the oh, you know what I would do? I would go back to doing the modular. I would go and I would just start automating the modular and just taking modules from people. Because that's something that I started off when I had nothing but time to kill, and eventually it just became like, oh well, I'm sorry, I'll come back to this at some other day. Uh, no, Dragon, I see what you're saying. I'm not worried about losing it. I've got my bases covered. If you know, if I just curse myself. See, there's the thing. I can't though. So many other people have this route. I hand out CDPs for Tolbrynd like hotcakes. And if anybody wants one, just come get me on Discord. I'll send you one right away. Um, so if something catastrophic were to happen to me, at least I know that there are dozens of people out there that just have this, that have it in a CDP. Uh, Worst case Ontario, even if nobody did, it's on Google Drive because that's how I hand it out. I can just go and download it and get it back. It's 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 damn near impossible for me to lose this route. Could I lose a lot of progress? Yes, absolutely. I could if I were to crash my computer tonight, assuming that if the computer were to crash right now and I lost everything on my hard drive, then yeah, I would lose a lot of progress. But if I can, save this in another CDP tonight, I'm not losing anything. I'll be annoyed, and if my computer is broken, then it's going to be a while until I get back to it. But you know, it's not gone. And if I did have to start again, uh, I don't actually know. I wish I knew. I would probably do something in the same vein. I'd like to think that I would go out and build like some sort of industrial park so that I could have all my automation shenanigans. But I would probably be building bits for the modular to keep things together. Um, but if I just had to build stuff on my own, I've always wanted to do the B&M Mountain Division. I've always wanted to get a dem of that and just make it into a thing. That's, or sorry, the main central mountain division, but where the North Conway runs now, B&M main central, 6 of one, half dozen the other. Eventually, but that's probably what I would do. I mean, I would. Yes, I see you. I see you there, B&M Steam Productions. Uh, I would. I've always had a fascination with that route. It's beautiful, and I also want to do a dem. If you'd asked me like a year ago, maybe what I would have said was, if I had to do a new route from scratch, what I would be doing is I'd be getting a dem of northwestern Washington State and trying to build out the Iron Horseman Railroad as it would have been in real life, because for those who don't know, the landscape, etc., of the Iron Horseman route is nonsense. We planned and built the route before we decided where it was, so yeah, it doesn't make any damn sense. But I would love to try to make it make sense, but I don't know if that's if that's even feasible at all, and B, if I would have the drive to do that these days. Um, but I like doing terrain work is the thing. Uh, it's I would prefer it to this. To doing the, I mean, maybe not the copy pasting of the trees, because this is pretty sedate. I mean, how can you have trouble with this? You're just pasting a box. Um, but with the way that I do terrain now, and with the way that I feel like I could do terrain if I were to employ every tool in my tool chest, so to speak, um, I think I could not only do much better than I do here, but I could create some pretty realistic looking terrain. And the nice thing about that is on a landscape that's completely, proto landscape, a not real landscape, or at least one where there wasn't a railroad before. You get to decide where the railroad goes. You get to play civil engineer and find the answer to that question. Like, one of my favorite things thus far on Tolbrynd has been building the VMR out. And I'll go over and look at it for a second so you guys can see what I mean. But for those who have been around for a long, long while, you probably remember that when I was building the VMR, I did all the groundwork first, which for a lot of trains builders is insane to think about. Now, honestly, I didn't have to do that much terrain work in the Iron Horseman. I didn't. Like, you guys watched me do quite a bit, but I did not do... I did a lot of terrain tracks and stuff. Um, I did a lot of very simple stuff. I didn't do anything close to what I've done for Tolbrynd. It's not even in the same league. It's not even in the same conversation. Uh, this was a, the Iron Horseman, a lot of it was done as a lot of trains routes are done, or at least a lot of ones done by people like me when I was younger. If you go back and watch old videos, you can see that, okay, what I'm doing is I'm building the track out, and then I'm building the landscape around it so that the track, goes through the landscape, and the landscape is what I want it to look like. That's a way to do things. It's not what I would call the best way to do things. Uh, at some point between the making of the Tamaros Vale and Anaconda Railroad and the making of Tolbrynd, I realized that, or decided even, that the right way to do things is to do the terrain first. Because unless you are sitting down when you're building and making provisions for, like, okay, there's going to be a cut here, there's going to be an embankment here, you're never going to get it right. And by right, I don't mean that there's a wrong way to do it, but railroads look a certain way, and roads look a certain way. And that's because they tend to cut through the landscape because they're seeking a route that works for them. And I think in order to get a railroad that looks right, you need to have a railroad that has done that seeking. It's tough to build a railroad that just looks like it has. It's tough to play the part. It's easier to do it for real. Um, compare a train's map. Even look at one that I did a while ago. Compare a train's map like the Tamros Vale Anaconda to any average railroad, like mid-game railroad in Transport Fever, and you'll see what I mean. Or, just look at real ones, I guess. There's nothing left in here. So, I wish I could hide the trees to show you guys, but here's the long and short of it. When I was coming through here, and I think the best... This area might be one of the best examples. This area might be one of the best examples. Everything on Tolbrynd right now, this is what it looks like. It's much greener than it was a few weeks ago, that's for sure. Oops, I want to hide the content search filter. So, for those who don't know, there's the Olive Branch right there. There's the town of Olive. Main lines go up this way. The Great Swamp is there. Adams is there. This is Lionhead. This is Mason's Landing. And this is Mason Valley. So there's kind of like a big L shape here. And this is Doe Cliff. So I wouldn't necessarily call it easier, but it gives you better results. I feel like for a lot of people it's easier to wrap your head around doing the terrain afterward. Because you just lay the track and you have the track laid and you don't really have to think about it, and then you can just build landscape around it. Whereas something like this, so I think this is Ashbury Ranch right here. You can see that, and this is even a pretty flat section of ground, but you can see that the tracks here, I believe we're climbing at 0.5%, if I remember right. So, let me just double check. Yeah, great gradient. Oh, we're climbing at 1%. So, the road is level, we're climbing up to meet the road. All of this terrain was done ahead of time. And I had to figure out a way to get through it. And so that led to things like this, where I'm in a cut now, I'm in a relatively deep cut, and then you come around this corner and you're sort of on a hillside. You have to cross a trestle here because I was just trying to get up this way, and if I'd done this it would have been too steep. So I gave myself a little bit of extra room, came around here. This is on a relatively tall embankment, and then it goes right into a cut, and then it comes right out onto a relatively flat piece of land through a small cut over a small embankment where there's a little tiny pond. I forgot that I put that there. And then into one of the deepest cuts on the railroad. And that's not because it was planned, but it's because that was the way that I figured out how to get through here. If you could just see the terrain, it would be a little more obvious, but you've got trees. So my goal was to get from over here to over here. And okay, how do I do that? Well, I could build a tunnel. We've got this hill in the way. I've got to go around the hill, so I've got to go this way. But if I climb, I don't want to make the grade too steep, so I've got to cut through here. In order to work up to that, I've got to build this little waggle, Yeah, and you can't go nuts with it. You can't just have tunnels everywhere. You can't just have bridges everywhere. You could say cost is no object and build a crazy route. And, there are realistic prototypes for that sort of thing. But especially if you're building an older railroad, anything older than modern day high speed, really, you're going to want to try to find a way around the scenery, not through it. And that's what I think separates, well, say something like the VMR, uh, from a lot of other railroads that people have built in the game, which is that the terrain is a completely independent quantity from the railroad. The railroad is not independent from the terrain, but the terrain is independent from the railroad. It's not doing certain things based on where I wanted the railroad to go. The railroad is doing things based on where I wanted the railroad to go. And so I came to this and went, well, I guess I got to build a big bridge into a tunnel, because let's face it, there was no other easy way around that. Out of the tunnel, we sort of hug the, not the cliffside here, but the hillside at least. And I know it's kind of tough to see because of the trees and all the spline points, but you know, we hug that hillside. I think we're still ascending. This is a game of, this railroad is a game of very slowly ascending. And we do come down after. I will try to avoid Tuneos. We come down after Lion's Head to get to the river. But, you know, that's the thing. It's like, you're faced with this, I've built this, what way around this do I have? So, you can't go around this way because that's too tall. You can't go around this way because you'd have to go all the way up and come all the way back down. It's nonsense. So, now you have to build a tunnel. That's the only thing that makes sense here. You come through, and then you can follow this hillside, again, still ascending, until you get to the part where you cross the river, which is right here. And so the river is coming up to meet you, and then you have this part where the river sort of goes up a little bit, which you can't really tell it, but it's increasing in height, or actually, it increases in height fairly rapidly right here to get up to the lake. It's like, okay, how do we get from here to here without breaking 1%? Well, we're going to need a crazy bridge, and we're going to make use of this valley to drag the track out and get all this elevation. Again, this is, you know, half and half, you know, cut an embankment, bridge, half. I mean, most of it's half. You've got a cut and an embankment going on at once. You're just hugging the hillside. There aren't too many, and that's kind of what you want to be doing. Then you have this cut, because you got to make this turn. The land here was going up almost faster than we could. And then you have this, which is a pretty hefty embankment. And then you head on onto this bridge here. Which, again, very tall bridge. Not really anything I can do about it, because that's just the hand that I dealt myself. And the long thing must have costed millions. Which long thing? Because there's a lot of long things here. This loop around, I mean, it's not a lot of cut and fill. You've got a big cut there and a big fill there. Otherwise, it's not that much. But, you know, railroad building is expensive. This is a pretty... The thing with the VMR is that it's going through terrain that might not be super hostile to railroads, but is relatively hostile to railroads. It's certainly not the kind of terrain that's sunshine and rainbows. And then you finally come out into the valley, you don't really need to do much. You cut through this, because otherwise you'd have to go around it. And you could have. You know, if I was really being entrepreneurial, I could have gone like this. But then we had to get down to the thing. And the easiest way to keep cuts low was to stay in the lowest part. So that leads to this double S curve that brings you out into the bridge. So, I don't know what else that can really be said about that. That's the way it is. And I don't have any more water, son of a gun. Alright, it's 8:44 right now. I am going to need to paste in the greenery underneath the bridge, which is just the color, not the trees. Oops, darn it. We'll come back to that in a second, I think. Yes, S's are rough. They can encourage things like string lining, which obviously not good. Yeah, you know what? That actually looks fine the way it is. So, oh yeah, the Tolbrynd Mariners. Yeah, they had a. Okay, does anyone want to know how the Tolbrynd Mariners season went? Let's just check in on them real quick. I can look right now. Let's see. Tolbrynd Mariners. Show me the standings. Oh, whoops! Apparently I'm still in it. I had a bye week league. I'm in the consolation bracket. Yeah, I'm in 7th. I yeah, I had a championship consolation. Oh yeah, I had a bye. Oh, I won last week. I wasn't even paying attention. The Tolbrynd Mariners. They are in 7th. They're 7th place in their league. They are 6-9-0. Nice. So yeah, don't worry. They're not forgotten. They're an important part of my life. The Tolbrynd Mariners. If you're on the Discord server and you like fantasy football, we do a fantasy football league, which is where the Tolbrynd Mariners come to life. This route would be great for trains to put as a default route. Well, it's certainly built for it. It's all DLS content. I don't know how I would pitch that, but I would be overjoyed if they, were to choose me for something like that. If I can get this segment done, It'd be fun to make a copy of this and sort of set it up for, like, marketing, you know? Oh, let me market this route to the powers that be and see if they'll accept it. All right, here's what I want to do. This is an idea I have not had yet. I think if I go over it with a wide brush and this, then I can come back later with a narrow brush. Same thing. That's the wrong texture. Give me the Oz. Oz Forest Floor Darker. There we go. Yeah, that is perhaps the one reason this would not be a great route to do. If I went through and optimized it, if I had gone through and I replaced the speed trees close to the track, and I replaced all the grass splines with the turf effects, then maybe it would be a better sell. But without that, that's true. It probably wouldn't do very well because, well, let's face it, nobody's going to be able to run the thing. That said, I can run it, and my computer isn't that good. I've been working on it. Oh, hell yeah. I've been working on it quite a while, and I had to upgrade my computer once in the meantime, but it's not the most difficult route to run. In fact, I would say, in some respects, it's easier than the Iron Horseman. It's certainly smaller than it. And this is no UMR. It's not that big. It's just dense, you know? I don't actually know. I know that I suffered mightily when it came to maps in 2006 because I had an absolutely terrible laptop. May it rest in peace. I'm just doing this for now. Tell me that doesn't look bad. No, it doesn't. Infinite amounts of AI and overambition. Ooh. It's an old one B&M. Somebody ought to get this man a new version of trains. Probably a new computer to go with it, because if you're anything like me, still running Trains 12, because that was just about the only thing I could run, yeah, rough. I know that 19 is a direct performance upgrade to Tane. I don't know. I don't necessarily think that it's a direct performance upgrade to 12. Well, 12 is a little rough around the edges, but then again, so is every Trains game since like 06. But oh, that's a shame. Was it just storage, or did you have other problems with it? Because if it was just storage, that's a pretty easy fix. Uh, if it was running well, but it was just chewing up the storage, yeah. Oh, that's a good question. How much time will we get to trackling again? So that is an interesting question because to get to trackling again, we need to be building world again. And to be building world again, we need to be done with this section. So I don't think I'm going to lay a lick of track until we're done with the section, obviously. But that's going to be... I couldn't give you a bona fide estimate, but I said the segment might be done by like mid-February, so maybe around mid-February. So maybe like a month and change from now, which would be really exciting. I don't know if that's realistic necessarily. I mean, it's realistic. I could definitely make it happen if I really wanted to, but I am not incentivized to work on this route more than 3 hours a week. I've got other things to do. Unfortunately, I have other things to do in my life than work on this route. My voice is going to give out if I keep doing this. We have a community playdate in Rares Online tomorrow if you're part of the Discord. And I feel like I'm not going to be able to talk during that. That said, I don't usually do a ton of talking during community playdates because I want to let the community have a talk. Smooth. I want to let the community interact, because it's a bringing people together thing. You don't know what kind of friends you're going to make in a Discord server until you sit down and play a game with them. Even if that making friends is really, it's just like yelling at people because they keep derailing the train, but like in a good way. Not derailing in a good way, but yelling at them like in a friendly way. Once you have done stupid stuff in front of each other and can successfully bust each other's balls about aforementioned stupid stuff, you're basically best friends. Um, if you can screw up and someone can say, "Hey, wow, you screwed up," and you can not be hurt by that, that person's your friend. You know, uh, it's just the way the way it is. You know. Oop, I think the pupper just came inside. Hello? Was he eating ham again? Oh, okay. It sounded like you guys came inside. What's up? What's that? Possibly. That's true. It is January. It depends on the tone, but it depends more on your reception of it and what you think of the tone. You know? No. Well, you and everyone. Um, the tone of something being said to you. Uh, I would love a piece of cake, but what I would love way more than a piece of cake is a cup of water. Yeah. Can you hear it? It's going. I had like 2 sips when I started, and that was a mistake. Um, the nice thing about the Iron Horseman Railroad, and I pushed for this, is that it is a contiguous route. Originally, when we were concepting the series, one of the ideas that got thrown out there was, well, why are we building a whole route? Why don't we just build a bunch of sets or a bunch of route what?
I'll give you cake after I take my phone.
A bunch of route pieces, that we can just, we don't have to run the trains in between them. We can stage things because, it's a show. You need sets, and I said, screw that. We're definitely building a whole route. Everyone build a little piece of it. We'll stitch it together. I wasn't the only person that was thinking that, but I took it upon myself to draw up a map and say, all right, we're going to build this. So that led to the Iron Horseman route as we know it today, down the winding road. The only reason it wasn't good is because it takes forever to load into it. And so if you had to change stuff, like if you were, for example, changing, if you had Jerry in a scene, and you plop down his little character, and you started filming with him, and then you needed him to be like 5 feet to the left. You had to either, there were two options here. You either had another Jerry sitting there, just off screen, that you could just turn to and pretend it's, and make like he's moved, or you could back out of the route, or back out of the session, go to the route, go to Jerry, move Jerry, put him where you want him, and then go back into the route, which this is already like a 15-minute investment. Then you got to go back into the route, which is like maybe another 10 minutes sometimes, and then continue, pick up filming. And that might be for one line. Filming is not necessarily, well, filming is the most time-consuming part of making a series like that, if you ask me. The script writing, okay, yeah, maybe the script writing is the most time-consuming part, but it's it's much less of a slog than filming. Filming can take forever, and it can feel like it takes forever. You can write a script and it can take forever, and it can feel like hours when it took days, or it can feel like minutes when it took hours. If you can get into the mind of your characters, yeah. The filming is the draining part, but script writing takes the longest. Editing, yeah, if you really care about editing, yes, editing also takes the longest thing. Also takes the longest amount of time. But my editing was really just throwing it all together. Maybe I'm discounting that. Maybe it did take longer than I'm thinking, but it never felt like it. Once I got the video clips, it was downhill from there. But getting the video clips was the difficult part. So, non-scripted things driven by people put in a world, well, that's a totally different story. Roleplay, etc. is also a lot of fun and can be a lot of fun, but that's a lot harder to catch in terms of lightning in a bottle. And it's a lot harder to make happen. It's just tougher to produce. It's great, don't get me wrong, but it's tougher to produce. Easier to write, obviously. Your mileage may vary with what I'm saying. Just the thing that always stuck out to me was the filming. And with the Iron Horseman Railroad being what it was, not being a bunch of sets, being one giant railroad that we had stitched together, that was not only from multiple people, obviously, but even from multiple versions of trains. Some of it was from 12, some of it was from 09, and eventually some of it was from Tane. It was a royal pain. And the other fun thing about it, if you go and download the Iron Horseman route now, which I think you still can, there's still a file up there somewhere, and it might even be a little messed up. It might have like assets it shouldn't have in it or something. People have mentioned that. Thankfully, we have not gotten in trouble for it yet. I haven't checked. I have a cleaned up version of the route, and we have a couple of work in progress, redone versions of the route that are sitting around that I think Milky and Mason have. But point is, it still exists. If you go and get it, you will not have all the assets. Nobody has all the assets. Not a single living soul, or dead one for that matter. I never had all the assets. Wyville never had all the assets. Milky never had all the assets. Dean never had all the assets. The Iron Horseman Railroad is an exercise in how many missing assets can you have and still film a series. Um, and I point out that no, I never had him because I was the one that put the route together. Uh, who remembers the Banana Company? God damn it, we're not doing this again. Welcome back, Matt. Yes, my love. Does he have to go outside? Okay, I will put him outside. Well, Matt's back. You hold down the fort. I'll be right back. Oh, my legs. Come on, let's go outside. Come on, let's go. him before I left him alone out there. Because I don't trust him. I don't trust him out there. What the heck happened here? I like map. Okay. Alright, I'm back. I'm just checking in. I don't think I'm going to make an India-like map. But... oh, excuse me. But here we are. I think that might have been a good break point to switch off and do something else, but I need to get all this grass in, so I'm just going to keep doing this for the minute. It is cold outside, but it has not started snowing yet. I'm supposed to be receiving 6 to 8 inches tonight, and I am super excited about that. I dug through my garage, I got out my snow shovel, I was like, I'm ready. I've got a bag of salt downstairs for clearing, keeping the walkways free of ice. I may be getting, like, up early tomorrow just to go outside and take care of the snow. Which, obviously, I'm not, like, jazzed about. I don't love getting up early, because who does? But I know there are people that do. But I love snow. And I'm excited for it. Even if I'm going to be annoyed about it when I'm clearing it, I'm excited that it's going to happen. And I really wish that my porch was done, or at least had like a floor so that I could go sit on the porch and watch the snowfall. But I can't do that because my porch has no floor and basically no walls. It has a ceiling, but that's about it. And it is cold out there. One of these days, I will have finished the porch and installed like a ceiling fan and everything, but also installed, more importantly, a wood stove, which is currently sitting in my garage. A few people have laid eyes upon the wood stove, and it is wonderful, and I am glad that I have it. But boy, is it heavy, and I'm not looking forward to trying to get it in the porch. Not even a little. I need to figure out how to like prop it up though, because you need to set up the floor properly, and you need to put like fireproof stuff around it. I'm not going to just put it down there and then like put a carpet underneath it, because that's a recipe for burning the house down. I want your wood stove. Everyone wants my wood stove. I spent an inordinate amount of money on this wood stove because apparently it's special. Which it's special to me because it has a story. I'd rather not say how much. The long and short, the short version is enough that I didn't pay him all at once. And that's not something I usually do. It's the kind of thing where I like to not have debts. I have enough debts in my life. I have mucho student loan debt, so I don't like to add on to that at all. It's strange for me to want to pay for something in more than one part, but I didn't have it all on me. I didn't have it all on hand. I was in the middle of, well, obviously renovating the porch, and so it was a situation where I just said, hey, can I give you half now and give you half later? And he said, yeah. So I'm going to earmark a portion of my tax refund check and send him off to this. Send them off to them. Send it off to them, rather. Yikes. Alright, this is a beautiful little railroad. Pull that off. Pull that back a little bit. Sayonara, comrade. Alright, so this is where I'm done with the grass for now. I will come back to the grass at a later date. But let's see, we've got an hour. Do we want to work on some industries? I think that's what we need to do. we need to decide on what these new industries are gonna be. And honestly, I think uh, our go-to is gonna be things that involve wood. Uh, we're gonna place either want to call River Junction or Twyler. It's junction of this between the shoreline or the Illinois Central. Interesting. Um, so we need to look at what we've got here. Um, and not or. Oh, and the Illinois Central. Got it. So all three of these things have some sort of tanks. That doesn't mean everything wet has to be delivered by rail. But it does... Oh, we don't have a stub on this track. But it does mean that we should probably take that into consideration. Slide that back. So, this place is taking in this and making plastic. Now, I don't know what it takes to make plastics in real life. In fact, I want to do some research about this. So just real quick. How is plastic made? Or how are plastic pellets made? How are plastics made? Plastics are made from raw materials. Ethane and propane are treated with heat. Process called cracking, which turns the ethylene and propylene. These materials are combined together to create different polymers. So ethylene and propylene. Okay. Plastic factory. No, I want plastic fabrication companies. I want to see, like, where is plastic made? Okay, so it's just in big chemical facilities. Where is plastic made? I don't necessarily... Okay, I want to see like a plastics typically made through human industrial systems. Wow, who would have thought? Okay, bitumen, naphtha, paraffin, fuel oil, lubricating oil. That's not what I need. Largest plastic producers. Let's see this. No. Like, okay. Let me Google Dow Chemical Plastic Plant. I just want a picture of it. I want to see a picture of it. I want to see pictures of Spider-Man. I want to know what it looks like. Okay, it looks like a lot of pipes. Okay, that's kind of what I was expecting. That's a lot of pipes. Okay, so we're not going to be making plastic here. Now, the other thing that I've said about Tolbrynd, is that we're not going to be doing any oil refining stuff on the map. Which, the reason for that is, the default oil refinery and the default oil well are super modern, and I don't trust myself to make an old one. So, I don't know what they look like. I'm not going to find out. Which, in addition to that, plastics really weren't a thing in the 1950s. Like, they were, but they weren't. When did plastic become popular? Yeah, so the 60s and 70s. We're not mass-produced after the Second World War, and then again in the 60s and 70s. So we're not quite there yet. We're not going to be needing plastics for anything in the first place. So I made this thing that makes plastic pellets for no reason. It's not like it's an important piece of our industrial chain here. It's just here, you know? So I just wanted to see plastic pellets. And the thing that I could use it for, but this doesn't have the right sort of thing. Um, let's think about it like this instead. Let's do it like this instead. So this is a lumber town. This is a lumber town. We're bringing in boatloads of logs. We're converting some of that into lumber. We're converting some of that into. I've got to rebuild this so that instead of the canvas covered load, it gives us. Oh wait, this is furniture. Oh wait, no, that's canvas covered load. It gives us something else. Yeah, so it's going to do furniture and it's going to do pallets. This is going to be pallets. So that's going to be some of it. Some of it is going to be the furniture, pallets. What else? What else can we make with the lumber? We can treat the lumber here. That would be something for it, but we don't necessarily really have the right building for it. This is closer to it. So let's do another Google. How was lumber treated in the 1950s? Treatments for primary industrial types. That doesn't help me at all. Wood preservation. Let's see. Oil-borne creosote. Routinely protect wood for 40 years. Linseed oil. That's a newer one. Tar-based. The distillation of coal tar. Creosote is regulated as a pesticide. Yeah, that'll kill you. So I know we have ties. All right, I'm gonna turn off the camera there so you can see what I'm doing now. And know that I can't see you guys anymore. So, Master of Google. What about barrel staves? Yeah, so I won't be able to see you guys anymore. So you're gonna be along for my ride. Let's see. Wood acetation. I need to see what kind of cargoes that I have over in industries and doodad. So here are our loads. Bitumen. I don't have like bitumen. Bunker sea oil. Do I just have tar? I don't know how you would transport that. Well, I guess we'll find out. No. What about like asphalt? I don't know how you transport that either. So, I could use crude or just heavy oil, I guess. What kind of oil? Okay, let's see. We've got where is the there's two right there. 1 and 2. Where's my tanker? There's a tanker. This one has aviation fuel, crude, diesel, and petrol. And I think that's it. We don't have any other kind of thing. So we can't really do that. We can't really do so I don't think I have creosote either. Maybe does trains have creosote as a thing? Let's see. Let's see. Tar. If I have tar as a thing, I have tarp. That's not what I'm looking for. No, I haven't got it. What about download station? This is opening a can of worms, but let's check. Let's just go down to tar. T-A-R. Star. This target, this TARDIS. Should put that somewhere. Tar lorry. No. Yes, madam. A relatively small piece, please. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get, what we're looking at here. What we're hoping to get here. So, to hell with that. Let's see, let's look at these buildings again. These are a little bit more serious. I do want to do like a wood treatment here. But maybe we could just be dropping off lumber to be treated instead of something more complicated than that. This has an unloading rack. Yeah, see, all this does is take in... Yeah, it takes in steel, it puts out goods. But that doesn't seem right. That could just take in lumber. This, on the other hand, we have an unloading rack. We need to use either petrol or... Oh, wait a minute. I have another tank car, don't I? Where's my other tank car? Here. Fork, please. Oh, it's right here. We can have ammonia. We can have bunker sea oil. That's a big hole.
I know.
Oh.
And I hated all the chocolate chips sunk to the bottom.
Yeah, well. It is definitely a little spongy. Oh well. Let's see, crude oil, diesel fuel. What else have we got? Cow and slurry. But that's not helpful here. Well, actually, yeah, no. Liquid natural gas. Liquid propane gas. That's getting in a direction that might be useful. Paint. That's interesting. We could use paint for something. Potassium hydroxide. What the heck do you use that for? Sodium hydroxide. 2 kinds of sulfuric acid. And, of course, water. And zinc sulfate. Zinc sulfate. I need to figure out what some of these things are used for. That way we can figure out how to use them. Hold on, I need my cake. It's a dietary supplement. Well, hold on. Whoa. Zinc electroplating. That's interesting. Okay. What was one of the other ones? Because we're not going to do that. Let's see. Oh, water. I wonder what that does. Industrial uses. Production of fertilizers, hydrochloric acid, nitric acid, sulfate, salts, synthetic detergents, dyes and pigments, explosives, and drugs. I don't think we're going to be making explosives here. Let's try something else, but that's something to keep in mind anyway. Sodium hydroxide. I don't know about that. Potassium hydroxide. Paint. Can we just use paint? Let me think. I think I want to use LPG for something. I just don't know what. I don't know what would use these two buildings. Um, what are industrial uses for, like... No, that won't do it. I can't think of something that I would use in such a small quantity that would have something to do with this area. That would use LPG. Let's see if anybody has any good ideas. Uh, no. Barrel staves. What? Oh. Um, Everyone's already left me because I've gone to the Google part of the show. Okay, so... I wonder... No. Because everything's going to be chemical related, except for what we've, you know... Except for whatever we've got here, and it's just not the right kind of building for it. So... I might just make general goods and take in LPG and make general goods. Because I can't picture what it would be. Yeah, it'll just have to make general goods. So, oop, let's go over here. Let's put this together then. Let me not put my hand in the cake. Okay. So instead of taking in crude, which was silly to begin with, I'm going to take in liquid propane gas. Okay. And let's see. Okay, it's broken. Cool. Had a feeling that was going to happen. Okay, so you're going to take in LPG. And you're going to consume it, right? Yes. Consume. Processes. Consume. How much? Don't know yet. What about you? What if I add... What if I add the second general goods, which I think is the cardboard box one, and then I go here, and then I click add that? No, it's broken. Okay. General goods. Okay. I like how this does sort of show us a list of commodities. Anyway, it's going to put out one carload, so that's going to be 80 in here. It's going to be 40 in here. Oh, whoops. Hold on. Items. 40. Wait a minute. Is that the wrong kind of general goods? How much is a carload for these things? General goods box. It's 16. 16. 1/6. So that means this needs to be 32, and this needs to be 16. Maybe. Tracks. General goods. load into vehicle, yes. And you're not going to be doing anything because you're just going to be connected to the other thing. Oh, we're going to need to rename this industry too. So, LPG, let's see. Please, if you break, I swear to God. I swear to the good Lord above. Okay. Oh wait, that isn't the thing that typically breaks. Okay, so unload from vehicle, we're gonna set this to items, obviously. How much is a carload of LPG? LPG, a carload is 39,000. So, carloads per day, 1 units per carload. 39,000 units per production. How about 390? No, that won't work. Oh wait, let's do it like this. 16. No, that doesn't work either. Oh, excuse me. 39,000. Time for production, 5,400. Nope, not quite. Okay, let's try 2 units per production. 10800. That won't. That will do the same. Oh. Okay. Okay. You have my attention. So that's 8 productions per day. Okay, we made that work. Let's do this. So 39,000 times 10 is 78,000. Right? Or sorry, times 10 times 2. Because yeah, it's 78,000. So way bills 50%. Start with 39,000. You start with 0. Your max is 32. Your way bill's nothing. Unload from vehicle, processes, duration, 10,800. A very unfamiliar number. You're going to consume 4875. 4875. I like how math works, and you're going to produce 2 every time. Yeah, actually that's 8 productions per day. So, yeah, you know what? I just did that. Why did I have to affirm that? I knew that already. Okay, so let's put these 2 in their places, and then we need to find names for them, and then we should probably disconnect and reconnect these tracks so nothing goes all funny on us. Because they fit a little too well, if you ask me. They sort of snapped into place, and I don't trust that. Not even a little. It's going to be that kind of thing where you're driving a train across, and it's just going to pop off on you. It's going to just come off the tracks. Actually, I think I can test this. Give me a second. Let me test this. Okay, you know what? I guess it works fine. I take everything back. Okay. Oh, we don't have names for this yet. Okay. What are we gonna name this? What are we gonna name this? Well, we could do. So what could they be using LPG for? Comes back to it. Craig's X. I can do a spin on that. Craig's X. No, no, no. I'm gonna go with Craig's X. Um, I'm gonna do this. Granada Enterprise. Granada Enterprise pickup. Okay, so we'll put that in the thing in a minute, and then we're gonna have. I'm probably not gonna be able to do anything with this. See, I have both of these in here, and I don't know why that worked. But let's see. Can I add a third one? Probably not. What are we adding here? We're just adding lumber. If I can, by some miracle, add... Nope, didn't think so. Cool. Alright, grab this, get rid of this. We're going to do this. Craig's X wood treatment, because after Craig's left his X, he needed some treatment on his wood. And we're just gonna do lumber. We're just gonna have it load lumber. And it's just gonna make treated wood. And we're not even gonna address like what it's giving. It's just it accepts wood. Let's see, Waybill's going to be 50%, obviously. How many carloads of lumber are going to go in here? Let's say... maybe 3 carloads of lumber. So that is 6... Oops, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Items. About 6 items. Let's start with that. Log revolution. I believe that's called a lathe. Unload from vehicle. Processes. Consume lumber. You're going to consume 6 units of lumber in total. So that's carloads per day, 3 units per carload. I missed. 2 units per production, let's just call it 1, and that's 14, yeah, okay, that works good. 14400. Hi, Lafayette. Come on, yes, lock in, perfect. Alright, now we need to put these in the document. So, this can go away. It's actually going to be replaced with Craig's X. Is that what I called it? I called it wood treatment, just to really stick in on this single entendre I've got going. And I put the OL on it, right? Yes. Cool. Craig's X wood treatment. Commodity. Oh, this won't produce anything anymore. Or should I have it? Well, no, it really wouldn't. It would just produce other kinds of lumber. Which, we have a bunch of other kinds of lumber, don't we? Because we can use that. Lumber load for D. No, that's not great. Lumber 8 foot, lumber 16 foot. What are these lumbers? Oh, it fits in a boxcar. Hang on a second. We might actually be able to make something out of this. What boxcar is this? This is the 40-foot boxcar. Oh, it's the same one that's over. Whoops, wrong thing. Hi. Same one that's over here. Because it's a Western Pacific car now. Thanks to magic. Okay, and so there's the 16-foot lumber. Here's the 8-foot lumber. Can I possibly have it make both? There's no way this is going to work. There's no way. Lumber 16 foot. Lumber 8 foot. Tracks. Nope. Damn it. Oh god, how am I gonna make this happen? I need the big one. Lumber 16 foot. Lumber 8 foot. Lumber. Tracks. Broken. Urgh. Okay. What if I do just one of them? Lumber 8 foot. Lumber 16 foot. Oh wait, I didn't mean to do that at all. Let me guess. Broken. What if I do just one of them like I actually meant to? Lumber. Let me put this one on. Yes. Lumber 16 foot. No, let's do lumber 8. Lumber 8. Final answer. Broken. If I get rid of this, broken. What's this one? Translated in Hungarian. Oh, interesting. Let's try this one. I don't know what the R means. If this works, I'm going to be very happy. I'm a very happy man. I'm thinking we make lumber 8 foot so that we can make a place that makes lumber 16 later, and then a place that cuts them. No, it doesn't work. Still broken. What the heck? You think the Hungarian one works? I'm trying to think here. Is there anything that I can... multiple industry new. No. Let's see. Can I go and do... Yeah, there's multiple industry new. Oh, wait a minute. Why is this so big? I thought this was a short one. I thought it was a shorty. Alright, hold on. Let's delete some stuff because I've been making a mess over here. Multiple industry. Oh, that's this one. Multiple industry basic. That's you. And yeah, you've got all the millions of things on there. Then we have multiple industry new, which I thought was smaller, but I don't know what these arrows mean. I won't pretend to know what these arrows mean. If anybody knows, please tell me. I'm gonna look. Me? There's still cake on it.
Oh, you didn't finish your cake yet?
No, it's really something.
I know. I don't know why it turned out like that. Probably because I put it in a bun pan.
I don't know. I think it was the chocolate chips.
Grandma told me a secret to do the chocolate chips so they don't go to the bottom.
What's that?
Cover them in flour.
Okay. Yeah, because I would hope these mean that you could change the length of it, but obviously that's not a thing. I'm trying to. Tracks. How come there's no... I feel like it's the kind of thing where it would imply that there are multiple tracks, but it doesn't. Either way, let's set this up. Let's set this up. We'll do lumber. Then we'll do the 8-foot lumber. Oh, whoops. What is Georgia Pacific 8-foot? Lumber 16-foot. Lumber 8-foot. Okay. So let's just make sure we can put the things on the thing now. Yes, we can. Alright, lumber, lumber, lumber. Load into vehicle, load into vehicle, unload from vehicle. So, here's the processes. We're going to take this lumber. We're going to consume it. We're going to consume 1 unit at a time. I need to set all these to units. Or items. Why do I make life difficult for myself? And you're going to produce lumber. Okay. Now here's the thing. The problem is it can't produce lumber 1-to-1. Or 16-foot 1-to-1. That's kind of a big issue. And in fact, I think I should forego the producing... Alright, see ya, B&M. Good having you on the stream. We'll just do it like this. 2 items. Wait. Carload is 4 items, right? Ideally, I would have it turn... I don't want to be shoving 4 carloads of lumber into here, but that might be the best option. But either way, it's going to consume 1 of those, going to produce 2 of those. The time for this is going to be 1440, or 400 rather, so that can consume 6 over the course of the time. This is going to be, oh, you know what, let's get rid of you. This is going to be, set initial product amount. Wait, how much is it going to be? Hi, my love. Are you okay?
I think yes.
Nice. Okay, so it's gonna end up producing 3 carloads. Hold on, Gloria wants to see when she shows up on the stream.
There we go.
Yep, there you go. Alright. Not you. Lumber 8-foot, that's 4 of them. For every 2 of these, 3 carloads worth is 12. That means this has to be set to 24. This has to be set to 50. This is going to be set to 12. This is going to be set to 50. I'm setting up an industry. It's supposed to be treating lumber, is what this thing is doing. You okay? Yeah. I apologize for putting it on your chair. Alright, so these two, unload from vehicle, load into vehicle, processes. Yes, do that. Yes, absolutely. You're speaking my language. We're going to move this boxcar because I'll need it later. Oh, we didn't seed the other thing, so get rid of that. Poor thing.
I was on the phone.
No! Okay.
I was
Okay.
on the phone with Grandma, and she was like, "Are you ready for the snow?" And I was like, "Yeah, we're ready." And then she was like, "I was like, I'll send you a video of Lafayette playing in the snow tomorrow." And she was like, "Good luck finding him. He's gonna bury himself under the snow."
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be real cute though.
We're gonna toss him in the snow like wee, and then we're gonna just watch him flop and trot around.
So there we go. This is gonna be Craig. Oh wait, OL for Olive. Craig's X wood treatment. What? He looks like a sad pupper.
He looks like a sad boy.
Because he is. He's so sad. He's neglected and depressed. Okay, we're almost wrapped up here. Got another 10 minutes. Got to enter these into the document.
So fidgety.
I need to start with this one, honestly. I don't know why I didn't. Granada Enterprise.
Oh, hi.
Which sounds like the name of a place in Elite Dangerous, that's for sure. So, it's no longer Olive Plastic. It's now Granada Enterprise. And it produces general goods box. Oh, sorry. Out box. Yes. That definitely just broke the system. So a carload of general goods is 16, so it produces 16. Right? Yeah. Double check. There we go. These are all fine now. That was easy. Next one, Olive Plastic, same thing, is now Granada Enterprise. The crude oil is now. Are you okay?
I don't know how I gave myself a paper cut.
Please don't do that. 39,000. 39,000. See, now the name is non-specific to what it actually does. Olive. Oh, sorry, the pulp mill slurm. That's the other one. That's the one we just did. That is now Craig's X. Can you not? I love you, but Craig's X wood treatment. It's going to take in. It consumes lumber, and it consumes 6 per day. So that's good. And then we need to fit it in here somewhere, so it's got to be in underneath. Well, technically it should be underneath here, but kind of screwed it up. Oh, good. I made plenty of room for myself. Wait a minute. No, I just screwed that up. It was already here. What am I doing? It does not produce general goods anymore. It produces some kind of lumber. Which should be, I need to get the text exactly correct. So lumber 8 foot. There we go. produces, what did I say, 12, 12, and bam, we have another one done. Why does this one do nothing? Oh, that's right. We still need to do the lumber mill, although the lumber mill, I feel like I've set it up almost already. I just need to rename it. OL Olive Lumber Mill. I definitely have rebalanced the rate here. So now I can mark this off. That's one less yellow box. Actually, three fewer yellow boxes. Pulp mill needs to have the same treatment. I need to balance that. Forestry and the log transfer, those all need to happen, but the log transfer is pretty straightforward. I think I just need to rename that one. And I want to make sure that it's done correctly as an industry. Oh, speaking of industry, the industry link. I didn't do the industry link. Where is it? Right here. Because we needed to name them first. Let's see. OL Granada Enterprise drop-off to Granada Enterprise pickup. Product general goods. That's done. Go back over here. I don't think I had an industry link here. I think there were just two separate industries. Which makes sense. I mean, you wouldn't really want it to be. He's going absolutely insane.
He's doing what he does to the big squeaky.
He's digging it. Yeah. Alright, so this is going to be that.
He just moved me from that into his face. You just watch him go like this.
Yeah, he nudges it. He's really funny. Yeah, so this was originally set up to be two things, and now it's two independent ones. Which, I'm fine with that. Let's just do OB olive branch log transfer. Or actually, log transload. So, OB log transload. So we can change that. It's a producer industry, right? Where is it? Oh yeah, there it is. Log transload. It's going to produce 50. I'm pretty sure we can get away with that. So, carloads per day, 1 units per carload. Oh wait, sorry. 5 and 10. And time for production, 10,000. You know what? We need to do this the other way around. Okay, that'll do it. What if I up that by... What if I just make it 10? Yeah, because that's fewer productions. It should do fine. Productions per day, that's 5. Yeah, so that's above the minimum threshold. Processes. Oh, you know what? It was already set up right, wasn't it? I just never changed it to items. So I was a little bit suspicious of it. 50 units. Tracks loaded a vehicle. 1728 it produces 1. Right? Yeah, 1728 it produces 1. I mean, I can do that. I don't know if it's better or worse to make that number larger. I mean, granularity is nice where it slowly fills up over time, but at the same time, I feel like every industry, every time it goes to do a process, is going to incur a tiny amount of lag. And if I can stretch that out, so it's doing that process once every 4 hours instead of once every 40 minutes, that's a little bit less lag. Just a hair. Either way, this isn't going to be in the same cycle as everything else. My God.
I hope you guys can hear him.
Good Lord. That's all I can say. Okay, we're going to switch this to items. This is the other one. So, OL...
That's only surviving one, so it won't
Yep.
count.
Yep. OB log transload oil loader. Or, sorry. Fuel is this? What is this gonna be? Obi log transload. What do you call this? It's a place where they get fuel. It's a gas station, but it's
Why would you call it a station?
because it's not. It's like a gas station.
Call it a G station.
No, I'm not calling it a G station.
No
I'll just say fuel drop off.
G station would have been better.
Okay.
You could've
Okay,
called
it's gonna be 1 carload of diesel.
Could have called it the D station because you're gonna get diesel.
Okay.
What?
Go to horny jail.
I said. I didn't say anything of the horniness type.
No, not at all.
All I said was D station for diesel.
Uh-huh. Help.
They can't help you. Nobody
Okay,
can hear
also
your screams.
this is supposed to be are there 2 things marked as yeah, there are. Okay, do I have both of them installed? The 38-foot tanker and also the 3 dome? Because I need to compare and contrast, because I don't know what... hold on. Stop. Oh my god. This is the same kind of thing. Can you stop, please? You're just sitting on my shoulder going, oh.
Because I'm bored!
I know you're
I
bored.
want to spend time with you! Jesus Christ, I've been in that house for 4 months.
I've been here the whole time.
Yeah, you're able to come and do as you please.
I mean, am I though? Okay, so I don't have the other one, the 32-foot tanker. Does this have any advantage other than holding more stuff? Like, physically more things. Diesel fuel. Okay, I don't know if I have that other tanker. Oh no. Okay. Let's see. Show search filter. I should have this car. I really should. I don't know. No, I guess I don't. Never mind. I take that back. Let's find it. It's on the DLS somewhere. GN 38-foot tanker. So, GN 38. Where is it? There it is. Download. I need to compare and contrast. So these are our 2 tankers. I remember I wanted to use them for different things. Yeah, they both have the same stuff. This one just carries more because it's bigger. I think I'm going to use this for, like, through trains and this for, like, deliveries, I guess. It just seems like that would make more sense to me. So, yeah. And I need to do some seating, too. I know I'm going over time here, but I need to do some seating. So, I'll focus on that first, and we'll come back to this stuff because I didn't un-yellow those yet. So, we still need to come back to that, for sure. It is known. The thing we need to do is we need to add the, the 50-foot Pure R flat car. Is it the FM flat car? Which one is it? Always forget. Let's go over to... Yeah, it is the FM flat car. Right? Is it? No, the FM flat car doesn't hold a damn thing. The only thing it holds is containers. Container. General goods. Why do we have this? Lumber. I mean, I guess I can use it. It's an alternate. But what is the main car for lumber? Different flat car. Oh, it's the other PRR flat car. Aha! 30-foot flat car, PRR. Okay. So, I'm going to put these somewhere because... You know, that. I'm going to need a few of these cars loaded and ready to go. So I'll probably just dunk them in the yard here. I'll just put them over here somewhere. 1, 2, 3. And these are both going to be filled with this 8-foot lumber, which again, for our purposes, is treated lumber. In fact, I think I'm going to swap this around. I'll leave those out. I'll put these in there because these are clearly a specialized item. We still don't have a tail track on this. So give me that. There we go. Okay, so that's that one set up. Then we need this one. We need a tank car with LPG in it. Let's see. Tank. I hope you guys can hear him. Oh well, it doesn't actually have LPG in it. It will, or it would. And I need a boxcar. I don't even have one over here. Whatever, I know what the boxcar looks like. Foot boxcar, so you know. Load that thing. Oh, cool. Alright, we're good. There we go. I'll have to relocate these cars at some point because this is not it's not what you might call ideal. It's seated, it's good, it can be worked, I suppose. I'm tired. We've been here a long time and there's nobody here. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video and I'll see you next week. This is the Admiral, signing off.